Hi you guys, I hope all is good. I hope all is well. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those that are new to my channel, welcome. For those that have been following me for quite some time, thank you so much for sticking around. I know I've been really not consistent in terms of my uploads. Life happened and I kind of just been dealing with that, but I'm very active on my Instagram mostly, so you're more than free to follow me there. All the link of all my social media will be down below. So today, let me just stop doing this. Today I'm here to talk about a topic that could be very sensitive for some, but I do believe that there is a sense of healing that comes when you share a very common experience with people, because there are people out there that are still dealing with it, and sometimes we just need to encourage and motivate each other. And that's exactly what I want to do. This is really just to motivate and encourage other people that may have experienced or are experiencing the same situation that I've been through. But yeah, so like I shared on my social media, if you didn't, like I said, I'm very active on my Instagram. I shared that I'm expecting, this will be my third pregnancy. And I kind of wanted to share my journey with you guys, you know, so stay tuned. I'm gonna do a little bit of background in terms of my journey. So back in 2016, I experienced two loss. So one was due to miscarriage. I was about 10 weeks, and the second pregnancy, it happened, I was pretty much entering to 5 months. I was like 4 months and a few days, like two days from being 5 months. So that was actually considered a stillbirth. So I actually had to deliver the baby. And it's 2018. Now I'm expecting this will be my third pregnancy. And currently I am 5 months. I'm entering 6 months. My first loss, they pretty much just told me, like, this is something that's very common. A lot of women goes through this, and I didn't really think anything about it. Of course, this was my first time discovering all the complication that pregnancy comes with. I was not aware of how common miscarriage was, and how common women experience this. Nobody really kind of prepared me for this, and I think experiencing it, I could understand why people don't talk about it, but I think it's necessary, even like among family, among, when you're preparing, like your family member for marriage or for kids. I think it's very necessary for us to be really open to talk about it, because I was completely lost and I was completely clueless in terms of what to expect, or what are the pros and the cons that come with pregnancy. I was completely clueless. But the just hearing that that this was a very common thing and there's nothing that I could have done to prevent it. So I was like, okay, fine, there's still hope. And I think what really shook me was my second pregnancy. My second pregnancy, I was like I said, I was almost close 5 months. So the way we discovered it, actually, we went to find out the sex of the baby, and then in the process they discovered that my cervix was actually shortened and it was open. So that put the baby at risk, and that put me at risk. So I was pretty much in the stage where I could have delivered anytime. So they had to do this emergency surgery, which is pretty much inserting this protection. It's called cerclage, which is to close the cervix and hold it until I was full term. But in the process of doing that, my water broke. That pretty much put me in a stage of labor. When we went there, we didn't know what to expect. We just literally thought we were gonna go find out the sex of the baby and come home. And all this kind of just, I felt like I was bombarded with so much, just the process of waiting for the surgery, and then to find out that the surgery was not successful, and then to hear that your baby have a high chance of not surviving, because if I was already 5 months, then they could have pretty much somehow helped me deliver the baby and trying to save it. But because I was still 4 months, even though it was a couple of days away from being 5 months, that wasn't still not enough for them to for the baby to come out pretty much safe. So the option that they gave me, it was either to terminate the pregnancy by a certain pill, or just to wait it out and see if the water will reproduce on its own, or just to see what's going to happen. But there was a risk with there was a risk with me waiting, which could lead me to being in a coma or get infections. But at that stage, I remember I was surrounded with my family. I remember my sister just said, like, you know, the doctor did what they had to do. This is a time where you have to let God do his part. And I remember literally just like having this sense of peace within me, you know, this sense of peace that, like, in the midst of it, like, everything was going to be okay, you know. And I told the doctor, I'm like, I'm not gonna terminate this pregnancy because I'm not gonna kill my baby, you know. There's still a heartbeat, the baby's still moving, I could still feel him. It was a boy. We named him actually Hazak, which means the strong one. Yeah, so I was just like, I'm not going to terminate this pregnancy, because if this child was alive and a car was coming to hit him, what do you think I was going to do? Of course I'm going to jump in front of the car. So I was just like, I'm not terminating this pregnancy. I'm going to wait. You guys did your part, and I'm going to wait and try to see what my God have to say about this. And of course, when you get all God talk, the doctor kind of look at you like you're crazy. So they're like, okay, you have to go back home because there's really nothing we could do, and we just have to wait it out. Just to fast forward, what ended up happening, 2 days later, that made me exactly 5 months, I had to come back into the hospital because I had this urge of pushing, and that's how I delivered. I delivered without any intervention. It pretty much came out. I pretty much kind of would say gave birth naturally. I didn't see the baby. My husband did. According to him, he looked like me. That was really hard on him. I think it was best that I didn't see it because I saw the effect that it had on him after. It was really hard. I really encourage you, if you guys are going through this or you're experiencing this, please be there for each other. That whole experience, I would be lying if I say it was not hard. It was definitely hard because, you know, it's one thing to go through that process and losing a child, but there's another whole new experience that comes after, which is pretty much the healing process, you know. After that, we have to come home without a child, and me, myself, my body recognized that I delivered a child. So there was like breast milk that was coming out of me, and I had no child to give it to. And, you know, my body was trying to go back to its natural state. So there was like this pain that I was going through, and it was just like emotionally, physically, I was drained. At some point, I was just like, someone could only endure so much, you know. But having the support of my husband, guys, I boast about my husband on Instagram because he's really heaven sent. Like, that's my best friend. And, you know, we healed based on the way that it worked for us. So if there was time that we felt like crying, we cried. And don't let anybody force you to heal fast. You know, everybody heals differently, and no one have the right to tell you on how you should handle your healing. When you're down, it's okay. It's okay to cry. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to cry. Go to God and express yourself how you feel, because that pain, he knows it. You know what I'm saying? He knows what you're going through. Don't try to force yourself. Don't feel guilty for not healing fast. God, He's the healer. He's the one that gives us strength when we're weak. And it's okay. It's okay to go through that process. It's okay for you to mourn for your child. Having a really supportive surrounding, and, you know, our family being there for us, you know, and people constantly praying. Prayer was our strongest weapon. And there's some times where I would just pray. I was praying like, because my thoughts was running crazy. And of course, it was even some times it was hard for me to look at newborns, because I was like, this should have been me. These are normal feeling. You're still human, you know what I'm saying? It's okay for you to wonder, but like I said, pray about it. Ask God. Let God speak to you. God, let God lead you. If you need healing, ask God for healing. If you need reassurance, which you need peace, He's God who gives all of that. Just do not let that affect your faith in God. Do not let that affect your the hope and the trust you put on the Lord. But the situation with me was that it's not that I was unable to conceive. I'm able to conceive, but there's a complication with my cervix. There's certain women that have no more cervix. Me, I have a short cervix. So each time I'm pregnant, before I pass a certain stage, there has to be an intervention. That's where they have to come insert this, what I told you guys earlier, a cyclage. Right now, I did the surgery, and the surgery was successful, praise God. And I'm what you call in a monetary bed rest. So I'm limited in terms of, like, I'm being out of work. There's, like, I can't stand more than 20 minutes. I can't lift anything over 10 pounds. I can't walk more than 30 minutes. This whole entire experience, as challenging, like I shared, as challenging it has been, there's just sense of peace that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? This whole experience really showed me, like, how us human, we are truly limited. You know, sometimes we put our trust in our trust in the doctors, you know, trusting that they will have the solution into the situation that we're experiencing, or the complication that we're experiencing. But they're just as limited as we are. You know, the talent and the skills that they possessed, it was given to them from God. You know what I'm saying? And those skills and those talent that God provided them, it is to assist people like you and I to receive the treatment that we need. But the doctor have to say it's all 50-50. Only God knows the full outcome of your situation, you know. So if the moment, whether you're sick, regardless of what you're going through, do not put your trust in the hope in this world. Do not put the trust in the hope in any specialist. What I've done differently from my previous pregnancy is just like, I submitted. From the moment I find out that I was pregnant, I'm like, God, no. This time I'm not gonna do it my way. I'm gonna do it your way. And I hand it into your hands. I have a weekly appointment with my doctors, and some weeks I go and they'll be like, yeah, you're doing fine. Just keep staying in bed. And then some, like last week, where they told me, like, you know, yeah, it's the cervix is shortened, but you're still fine. Just don't. Pretty much, they told me don't do nothing. As I'm going to this appointment, I just leave myself in God's hand, and I'm like, God, regardless of what they're gonna tell me, let the peace. Because guys, my last pregnancy, when I was in the hospital, and when they were telling me that, like, your baby is not gonna make it, your baby, you know, you need to terminate this pregnancy and everything, I look into my husband, completely broken. I'm looking to my family. Everybody was just like, had that, like, kind of sorrow, sad type of face, look on their face, you know, like. But I had this sense of peace. You know, that type of peace, like the Bible tells us, that surpass all understanding. Like, I had that. And that peace reassured me. That peace is what continued to give me hope that, like, this is not it. God, this is bigger than me. This is something that God I will never understand why it had to happen, but this peace is giving me hope that like this is not it. God still have a plan for us, you know. And when I go to the hospital every week, that's what I ask God. I'm like, God, please give me that peace. Regardless of what they're gonna tell me, give me and my baby that peace. And God, guys, I kid you not, like I said, this has been very challenging. But the peace that I have is the type of peace that I have never experienced before. You know what I'm saying? People that know me, they know that like I wouldn't say I'm like to have control of things, you know. I've never really taken risk in my life unless I knew the outcome of it. So I've always really played safe in terms of my choices and you know, my choices in terms of the decision that I make. I've always really played safe with my choices. And you know, sometimes I didn't really give God an opportunity. You know, I didn't really let God be God in my life because I always wanted to control and macromanage everything. And this experiences, God is teaching me to let go and trust Him. And that's the journey I am in right now. I feel like, you know, when we're born again, you know, we're literally like new kid. We're like a new baby. And God, the Christian life, like you guys know, it's a lifestyle. Every day we learn, every day we grow, every day, you know, God teaches us things. But just like school, you know, after lesson is done, there's have to be tests, you know, and after text is done, there's practice that you have to practice. And I feel like all the praise and the worship and all the preaching that we listen to, it have to come a time where we have to put it into action. You know what I'm saying? You don't really know faith until you have to put it in action. And this is my time where I feel like, where I'm like, yeah, this is my time for me to really put my faith into action. Like even this year, I've titled it Faith in Action, because I'm like, I don't just wanna testify my faith, my Christian faith. You guys know that my Insta story, I'm always trying to encourage people to hold on to God. But it's like, it comes really challenging, or for someone like me who always like to be in control of things, to let things go and let God be like, you see, like, well, God, you handle that, you take control of that. And I feel like I'm in that stage, I'm in that season where like God is like, all right, you learn it, you get it, all right, now put it into work. So I wanted to make this video while I'm still going through this, you know what I'm saying? While I'm still experiencing it, while the results aren't always perfect, you know, because I want to motivate somebody out there that is going through it or have recently lost their baby. I want to encourage you to not lose hope. Do not lose hope. Do not let the enemy make you feel like you have lost, because you have not lost. With God, all is possible. All is possible. Just submit yourself into God's hand and let Him lead you. You have to let go and let Him lead you. And if you guys are a married couple, I'm like I begged you, please be there for each other. And if you know a family member or a friend have experienced this, please be there for them. Everybody heals differently. You know what I'm saying? Some people, it takes years. Some people, I feel like the experience that I experienced is something that's always going to be part of me. You know, every situation that God allows us to face, it has a greater purpose. You know what I'm saying? It has a greater purpose. I am not looking at it as I lost 2 kids. No, I'm not looking at it as I lost 2 kids. None of us are going to stay here eternally. We're all here for a period of time, and then we're all going to go. The way I'm looking at it is like my kids came, and they just left before me. And there's a reason why they had to come at that time, at that specific time. And it's not for me to know why, the reason why it have to happen the way it happened. And all I do is just give God the glory and thank God for the privilege, guys, because being a mother, becoming a parent is a privilege. God is trusting you with a whole new human. Whether things turn out the way we have hoped or not, it doesn't change the unconditional love God has for us. It does not change that. I have this Bible verse that I'm going to share with you guys. Romans 8:38. We read, it says, I am convinced that nothing could ever separate us from God's love. Neither death, nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither our fears for today, nor our worries about tomorrow, not even the power of hell can separate us from God's love. Nothing. The experience of the struggle that you're experiencing does not limitate you from or disqualify you from the love God has for you. So guys, like I said, this is just like a motivation and encouraging video. If you guys have any special requests in terms of what type of video you would like to see, please feel free to write it down below. And if you have anything that you would like to share and you need encouragement or motivation just write it down below. You know, I like reading people's comments and see how it could help. I don't have all the answers, trust me, I don't have all the answer, but I'm all for encouraging and motivating people, especially when it comes to holding on to their faith in the Lord. Okay, bisous guys, bye.